30 times Meghan Markle exposed she was crazy in her Netflix docuseries. Crying in riches. In a black and white shot, the Duchess of Sussex can be seen sitting cross-legged in an armchair with her phone while holding her head in her hand as she breaks down in tears. But an imposing piece in the background, spoiling the sincerity, is the celebrity staple $2,340 cashmere Hermes throw rug positioned nonchalantly over the chair behind her. Peter Ford had this to say via Twitter: "Nothing more heartbreaking than seeing Meghan in tears on her 3,000 Hermes blanket." But as good fortune would have it, from a producer's point of view, all being captured for use in the show, the documentary has been a long time coming. Considering the jewel in the crown, as part of Meghan's multi-million-dollar Netflix deal they signed 2 years ago upon cutting ties with the royal family. Meghan's dad. Meghan Markle's father has come forward denying claims about him aired in the Sussex's bombshell Netflix documentary. Meghan, 41, said in the first installment of the Tell-All series that she attempted to contact Thomas Markle multiple times in the lead-up to her 2018 royal wedding with Prince Harry. After it emerged, he had staged paparazzi photos for money. Thomas, 78, was supposed to walk his daughter down the aisle at Windsor Castle, but after the media storm surrounding his paparazzi setup, he suffered a reported heart attack and ended up in a New Mexico hospital. During the documentary, messages between Thomas and Meghan, sent at the time, flashed on screen, saying from Meghan to her father, "Please, can I ask you to stop talking to any press? You haven't returned any of my 20 phone calls since we spoke on Saturday morning, which only adds to the hurt you've been causing me. We aren't angry, but we really do need to speak to you. Love, M and H." To which her dad responded with, "I've done nothing to hurt you, Meghan, or anyone else. I know nothing about 20 calls. I'm sorry my heart attack is inconvenient for you." This response led Meghan to conclude his phone has been compromised. However, Thomas, who is recovering from a stroke he suffered in May, has since told the Daily Mail he was in fact behind the text in question. "I wrote every word I sent from that phone, which is still in my possession." Told the publications, "For her to claim that my phone was compromised is simply not true. I wrote that text as I lay in a hospital bed after having had 2 heart attacks and having stents put in. I wasn't angry, I was in the hospital. They never once asked me how I was doing. When I got their message, I was upset. I thought I didn't deserve those messages." Meghan Markle has been slammed online for mocking having to curtsy to the late Queen in the controversial new Netflix show. The Duchess was discussing how unusual she found it having to curtsy to the Queen, saying it was like medieval times. In episode 2 of the doc, she then bowed low to demonstrate her first curtsy to the beloved former monarch, before straightening up with a small giggle. Okay. Online commentators were quick to slam her for appearing to mock the institution of the monarchy. One critic tweeted, "Meghan Markle mocking the monarch with that supposed curtsy. How utterly disrespectful of the British people and their traditions." Another seethed, "Meghan Markle mocks the respect of a curtsy for our beloved queen, mocks the traditions of the monarch and the UK, and finds herself adorable while doing it." A third fumed, "The worst part is Meghan mocking having to curtsy to the queen and that stupid mocking voice she used after. Most people will be offended by her mockery of an old beloved woman." However, others defended Meghan and said that the scene was hilarious. One commentator said, "The curtsy part was so funny to me, watching Meghan do that deep bow in Harry's face. I say let's all live, laugh, love like the floor mat in every Karen's house."
What do you want from me?
Puppy filter. Royals are just like the rest of us, browsing social media such as Instagram in their free time. Prince Harry was doing just this when he encountered a video of a mutual friend chatting with Markle, an actress whose credits included legal drama series Suits 2011 to 2019. A filter had been applied, giving her dog ears. That was the first thing I saw. I was like, who is that? Prince Harry says in the first episode in the new series, he then asked his friends to introduce them. Now, that does not show that she was crazy, nor do I think she is, but I will say I've ran into my fair share of doggy filter girls, and sometimes the shoe fits. Crying on demand. Meghan revealed how she honed the acting ability to turn on fake tears. In a 2014 video filmed at Soho House in Toronto, where her legal drama Suits was made, shows Meghan boasting that she can shed a tear for the camera in 3 seconds, uno dos trois. Asked by someone behind the camera if she can make herself cry, Meghan said, "Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my god, it's crazy." They're like, "Meghan, one tear, left eye go." She adds, "Give me 3 seconds." Social media users are asking whether Meghan's distress in the Netflix teaser is real. One Twitter user wrote, "I swear Meghan asked her magic mirror who is the fairest of them all, and it said Kate, so she lost her S word." Footballer Jack Barrett of Worth Warwick simply wrote, "Crocodile tears." Royal fan and retired nurse Bernadette Sasson told Twitter, is an actress. Not a great one, just passable, but she can make herself cry at the drop of a hat." Piers Morgan. British podcaster Piers Morgan was very vocal when it came to accusing Harry and Meghan of lying. You may remember in the Oprah Winfrey Wine-a-thon, about 17 different things came out of their mouths were quickly proven to be untrue and were added again with the Netflix documentary. He claimed, not me. The couple now apparently ruthlessly exploits their titles as the Duke and Duchess for hundreds of millions of dollars. I wish I had that money. During the interview, she had brought up that she and Prince Harry shared their vows in the backyard with Archbishop of Canterbury, who had refuted the claims, saying the wedding was celebrated on the 19th of May, the day of the marriage, which was also publicly televised. I don't know why you would lie about that, but personally, I can also do a backflip, so you do you, Meghan. Privacy. After vocalizing concerns over needing privacy as a royal, many people seem to feel as if it was an unreasonable demand for Meghan, especially during all the controversies, all while including an inside look on their lives as royals, which is to be featured with never before seen pictures of the family. Afterwards, Meghan tried to reiterate her feeling of needing privacy and how it's a basic human right. I agree, Meghan, it is a basic human right. Too bad pigeons aren't real. She stated how she should be able to share parts of her life in her control, not in the media's control. Piers Morgan had more to say about the trailer, saying, "Imagine bleeding about privacy, then doing a kiss and tell reality series about your private life. Then imagine preaching compassion as you trash your family again. Then imagine releasing the first trailer deliberately to ruin your brother's big trip to America. Repulsive hypocrites," says Piers. I say, staff backlash. A source told a British paper that palace insiders were seething with rage at allegations made in the forthcoming docuseries. The trailer was also slammed by online trolls who call the series hypocritical. In a conversation with Sky News Australia Paul Murray, Meghan Kelly mentioned her perspective on the bullying allegations and how they were coming out from abandonment of her friends and family. Her wedding, peppered by only celebrities and no one who actually knew or loved her. They've lost 14 staffers, top staffers in the past few years. That's not normal to lose 14, especially at a level when you're royal. People probably really want to work for you. One internet user voiced their opinions on the trailer by saying, "I love the part where Harry and Meghan write a letter making it clear that the monarch is a horrible oppressive system." One user mused, "Right before signing their letter, the Duke and Duchess, this outrage has caused former employees to voice their frustration with NDAs and limit them from saying anything about the lies in the Netflix docuseries." One of the palace staffers said she knows we can't financially protect ourselves by going to court, so she keeps pushing. It's all a game for her, and she's loving it, they said. "I certainly have chosen to remain silent out of respect to the crown. But if they keep attacking us or our character's reputation, etc., we need to feel we are equally supported by the royal family." Fake photos like everybody on Instagram nowadays. I see you with your Photoshop. A photograph used showing press bombarding a car with a follow-up image of Meghan wiping tears from her eyes to emphasize a point of Meghan being bombarded by photographers. Viewers noticed that the picture is used from Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, in that vehicle. Host of the Meghan Kelly show, Kelly, had a lot to say about the series as well. There are at least 3 other shots in the trailer of them getting mobbed by press, which had absolutely nothing to do with them, she said. Photoshop is a utility nowadays. Without it, I wouldn't have Tinder. Let's be honest though, is this lying or just good marketing campaign? More fake photos. Another one of the pictures that used to show Harry and Meghan hounded by the press in the trailer was actually taken at a film premiere 5 years before they had ever met. Piers Morgan exposed a paparazzi photo used in the trailer was actually from a Harry Potter premiere and not of photographers following the couple in their private lives. They already tell yet another lie in the first trailer with the Harry Potter paparazzi shot, Morgan wrote. It is understood that no member of the royal family attended the premiere. Instead, the photos appear first under search result for paparazzi. 2 words. Marketing. It's simple marketing. Hate Meghan for it, but these photos, fake or real, they're being discussed. And any publicity is good. She's winning even by me making this video right now. Oprah. Because the royals usually have a policy of not speaking on sensitive issues to the press, it was a huge deal that Harry and Meghan talked so candidly to Oprah Winfrey. They opened up about everything from the Kate Middleton feud to the time Meghan was allegedly denied mental health help. The couple even claimed that one of the royals made racist comments about Archie's skin. The situation brought the royals in a negative light. What do you think of the interview? Awkward exchange with the royal aide. Miscommunication part 2. I understand a majority of people show dislike towards Meghan, but being a royal comes with a lot of rules that can be difficult to keep track of. Markle was seen holding a bouquet when a royal aide approached her to ask whether he could take the flowers off her hands. Markle appeared to decline the offer and told the aide she was going to put them down herself, before turning back to the crowd with the bundle still in her arms. But moments later, another aide walked up to take the flowers that Harry got from a member of the public, and then reached for Markle's bouquet. Meghan seemed to resist at first, but after the aide appeared to explain the situation, Markle obliged and handed over the floral arrangement. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
10 celebrities who didn't like Meghan and Harry's Netflix series. Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is furious about his involuntary involvement in Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's bombshell Netflix docuseries. The final episodes of Harry and Meghan finally dropped, and the outspoken host of Piers Morgan Uncensored, available to stream on Flash, can be heard in one of the episodes saying of Meghan, she's becoming a royal rock star. Taking to Twitter, Morgan wrote, "I'm being regularly heard/quoted in this second installment of the Megsflix Wine-a-thon. I'm traumatized by this terrible invasion of my privacy." The Sky News Australia host posted in another tweet, "God, their incessant whining is so insufferably exhausting." The TV presenter then condemned Harry for blasting his brother Prince William, father King Charles, and grandmother the late Queen Elizabeth. Prince Harry publicly trashing his brother William, branding his father King Charles a liar, and attacking his grandmother the late Queen for doing nothing. He tweeted, "This is such a grotesque and sickening betrayal of his family." Speaking on Talk TV, Piers also dismissed claims by Meghan's friends that the palace had declared war on Meghan. A real war against Meghan? Give me a break. A real war is what's happening right now in Ukraine, he said. Prince William. Prince William won't be tuning in to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's Netflix show. A palace source shares in this week's issue of People that the Prince and Princess of Wales are avoiding the Harry and Meghan docuseries, having aides watch instead. Despite an apparent olive branch following Queen Elizabeth's passing in September, when Prince Harry and Meghan joined Prince William to Kate to view tributes to the monarch outside Windsor Castle, the relationship between the brothers remains strained. It will take a long time before there is harmony between the brothers, says a source close to the royal household. There is a lot of anger there. Just like William, Kate has decided not to even indulge in the drama the series is going to bring up, having aides watch it instead. The same source as the point before said there is a ton of anger on Kate's behalf as well. In the first 3 episodes of the Netflix series following the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Meghan spoke about her lack of understanding of royal life, including her surprise when she first met Kate. "When Will and Kate came over and I had met her for the first time, they came over for dinner," Meghan said in Harry and Meghan. "I remember I was in ripped jeans and barefoot. Like I was a hugger, always been a hugger," she added. I didn't realize that this is really jarring for a lot of Brits. I guess I'd start to understand very quickly that the formality on the outside carried through on the inside," she continued. "There's a forward-facing way of being, and then you close the door and you relax now. But that formality carries over on both sides, and that was surprising to me. They were happy to lie to protect my brother," Harry said, adding that he and Meghan were the victims of institutional gaslighting. "They were never willing to tell the truth to protect us," he continued. Former Conservative politician David Mellor told the Daily Mail, "They make money out of selling their family down the river. I think it should be made clear that the British people do not want them there," in reference to the upcoming celebration for the King in May. "They shouldn't come to the coronation. They categorically shouldn't come," he declared, also adding that Brits would be perfectly entitled to boo the Duke and Duchess of Sussex if they attend. Ian Duncan Smith, current Parliament member and former Conservative Party leader Ian Duncan Smith, said of the couple to the Daily Mail, "If they dislike the royal family so much, why would they attend the coronation?" Since the release of the first 3 episodes of their Netflix show, Harry and Meghan have received an abundance of negative backlash, predominantly within the United Kingdom. A second batch of episodes will have released on December 15th, the date on which Kate Middleton will tape her ITV special Royal Carols Together at Christmas. Lady Antonia. British author Lady Antonia Fraser said, "I hope they don't come because I want the King and Queen to be the center of attention. It worries me that if they come, the cameras might waste time on them. They should stay holding hands in Hollywood." Regarding the coronation of the King this spring and how the docuseries could take the attention off of the event, causing them to steal the thunder. CNN. Of course, CNN is the most trustworthy news source out there. Here's what they had to say. When Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced in early 2020 that they were stepping back from their roles as senior royals, effectively quitting the royal family, they described a culture of familial tension, relentless scrutiny, and certain misogyny. They no longer wished to be trailed by the media, obsessed over, and watched. Harry didn't want to be constantly reminded of his mother's tragic passing every time he and Meghan were photographed. Meghan didn't want to be tabloid fodder for what she wore, how she did her hair, where she was from, or how much she did or didn't enjoy the spotlight. They wanted to reach financial independence, live as regular people, raise their children in private. And yet, here they are, taking part in and co-producing, in fact, Harry and Meghan, a new 6-part docuseries whose first 3 episodes dropped recently, detailing their lives with a never-before-seen look into the couple's personal archive, commentary from close friends and family members speaking out for the first time, and lots of direct access to Harry and Meghan themselves in interviews filmed over the last few years. The series opens with individual self-taped video diaries by Harry and Meghan from back in 2020, the first clue that perhaps they never really intended to keep their private life private after all. Indeed, what we learn from Harry and Meghan is that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are less interested in staying out of the spotlight than in staying in complete control of how the spotlight makes them look. But, well, that's just not how celebrity works. For the sake of boredom, I shall not continue this 5-minute debrief CNN gave us. Britons. Harry and Meghan's popularity in Britain has taken yet another tumble following the release of their bombshell Netflix documentary, a new poll suggested. Some 14% of Britons now have a more negative view of the Sussexes after the first 3 episodes were dropped a couple weeks back. A YouGov survey of 4,026 people found. Meanwhile, just 4% see the pair in a more positive light, while just under half, 45%, said their opinion had not changed, including 34% who already felt negatively and 11% who already felt positively. The first half of the 6-episode docuseries, released at 8 AM on December 8th, was criticized by many for its attack on the late Queen's Commonwealth legacy, as talking head and academic Afua Hirsch branded the Association of Nations Empire 2.0, whatever Empire 2.0 is. Dickie Arbiter. Dickie Arbiter, who served the Queen from 1988 until 2000, accused the couple of mixed messages and said no one will believe a word they say. He also rubbished suggestions the Sussexes had their security pulled prior to Megxit, pointing out that it was only taken away because they were moving to America. Mr. Arbiter told The Sun, "There are more holes in their story than a colander. It is absolutely outrageous to be talking about institutional gaslighting, and their security was taken away because taxpayers won't pay for them to live in America. There are so many mixed messages. I think they have lost direction and no one will believe a word they say." Tom Bauer. Tom Bauer, who wrote a biography on Meghan this year, has suggested the public acrimony between the heir to the throne and his brother is a bad look for Britain. Mr. Bauer said their mother Diana would be appalled by Harry's disloyalty. Not only is that rupture distressing for William and King Charles, but also for the country. The image of warring brothers is terrible for Britain's global reputation. He also hit back at claims made in a new trailer that implies the couple's decision to leave the UK for America was taken due to a pressing concern for their safety, with Harry saying, "I wonder what would have happened to us had we not got out when we did." Thanks for watching. These are 10 times Meghan Markle exposed she was crazy in her Netflix series Part 3. Number 10, attention. Okay, so everyone knows that being an actor or actress comes with its fair share of drawbacks. Uncertainty in your job, expectations, and worst of all, paparazzi. The paparazzi truly is the worst of the worst, but I bet you get used to them after a while. Meghan definitely should have at least. When she was filming for Suits, the paparazzi were already in hot pursuit. In episode 2, Markle remembers being pursued by members of the media in Toronto, where she shot the legal drama Suits, after news broke of her relationship with Harry. It felt like all the UK media descended upon Toronto, she says. My house was just surrounded, just men sitting in their cars all the time waiting for me to do anything. My neighbors texted me saying, "They're knocking on everyone's doors, they're trying to find you." They had paid certain neighbors to put like a live stream camera into my backyard. Suddenly, it was like everything about my life was just getting so much more insular. Like all the curtains were pulled, all the blinds were pulled. It was scary. Clearly, she's crazy, because how did she not see this coming? You're dating a royal. Of course some attention is going to be coming your way. Number 9, hugs. You heard that right, folks. Meghan Markle tried to hug the royals. I know it's not that shocking to us, but to the royals, it's a surprisingly big deal. In episode 2, Markle reveals that her informal habits could be shocking even to members of the royal family who are her own age. When Will and Kate came over for dinner, I remember I was in ripped jeans and I was barefoot, she says. Like, I was a hugger, always been a hugger. I didn't realize that this is jarring for a lot of Brits. She also didn't realize that the royal family's rules of etiquette were not only to be observed in public. I guess I'd start to understand very quickly that the formality on the outside carried through on the inside, she shares. There is a forward-facing way of being, and then you close the door and then you can relax now. Or so she thought, but that formality carries over on both sides. And that was surprising to me. What shocks me the most here is that Harry didn't tell her anything. What kind of person doesn't tell their significant other of a dress or behavior code for an event? It might be Harry that's crazy here. Number 8, curtsying. Episode 2 also finds the pair recalling the first time that Markle met Harry's grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. My grandmother was the first senior member of the family that Meghan met, says Harry. She had no idea what it all consisted of, so it was a big shock to the system for her. I mean, it's surreal, says Markle. There wasn't like some big moment of like, and now you're going to meet my grandmother. I didn't know I was going to meet her until moments before. We were in the car and he's like, oh, my grandmother's here. She's going to be there after church. And he's like, you know how to curtsy, right? And I just thought it was a joke. How do you explain that to people, adds Harry? How do you explain that you bow to your grandmother and that you will need to curtsy, especially to an American? Like, that's weird. But it's really not weird to the Americans, Harry, because they know the United Kingdom exists. Miss Meghan Markle is crazy for not doing any research into the culture before going into the deep end and dating Harry. Sorry, I'm in a mood today. I'm feeling expressive. Number 7, the Daily Mail. In August 2018, Markle sued Associated Newspapers Limited, the owner of the Daily Mail's weekend newspaper, The Mail on Sunday, over 5 articles that reproduced parts of a private letter she had written to her father. The legal action was still ongoing in the summer of 2020 when she miscarried. I believe my wife suffered a miscarriage because of what the Daily Mail did, says Harry in episode 6. Now, do we absolutely know that the miscarriage was caused by that? Of course we don't. But bearing in mind the stress that caused, the lack of sleep, and the timing of the pregnancy, how many weeks she was, I can say from what I saw, that miscarriage was created by what they were trying to do to her. I don't think anyone can dispute that a miscarriage is a terrible thing to go through, and I'm truly sorry for her and Harry that they had to endure such an endeavor. But blaming it on the Daily Mail seems just like a desperate act of grief. Number 6, her sister. The contentious relationship between Meghan Markle and her half-sister has been well documented since the former began dating within the royal family. Samantha Markle and their father, Thomas, have been highly critical of the Duchess of Sussex over the years, so it's no surprise that the older sister has plenty to say about the limited series that's focused on the former Suits actress and her husband. Harry and Meghan has been trending on Netflix in December since its release, but Samantha claims it's more fake news than docuseries. Harry and Meghan has been getting absolutely brutalized in fans' reviews of the show. Despite its popularity on the streaming service, the 6-episode series focuses on the lives of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, particularly the period of time from when they began dating to when they chose to step away from the royal family. Samantha Markle appeared on Tucker Carlson Tonight to dispute some of her half-sister's claims, claiming Harry and Meghan a series of lies. She told the Fox News host, "I can't believe we were essentially looking at a $100 million fake news PR machine. It's projection at its finest and it's almost comical." Samantha Markle refuted some of the claims made by her younger sister on Harry and Meghan, including that the two weren't close. After Meghan Markle said on the series that she hadn't seen her in over a decade and that was only for a day and a half. Samantha also took issues with the relationship the Duchess of Sussex said she had with her grandmother, saying the whole grandmother thing, that just did it for us. I think my grandmother would be rolling over in her grave if she saw that. And she didn't take care of her. She visited her. She never made apple butter with her because my grandmother was making apple butter like in the 1970s before Meghan was even born. So it's been so far-fetched, it's like a tragic comedy, especially, sadly, for our family and for the royals, and she obviously didn't stop going off about her clear jealousy. Number 5, crying on demand. Meghan revealed how she honed the acting ability to turn on fake tears. The 2014 video, filmed at Soho House in Toronto, where her legal drama Suits was made, shows Meghan boasting that she can shed a tear for the camera in 3 seconds. Asked by someone behind the camera if she can make herself cry, Meghan says, "Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my god, it's crazy." They're like, "Meghan, 1 tear, left eye, go." She adds, "Give me 3 seconds." Social media users are asking whether Meghan's distress in the Netflix teaser is real. One Twitter user wrote, "I swear Meghan asked her magic mirror who was the fairest of them all and it said Kate, so she lost her stuff." Footballer Jack Barat of North Warwick simply wrote crocodile tears. Royal fan and retired nurse Bernadette Sasson told Twitter, "Meghan Markle was/is an actress. Not a great one, just passable, but she can make herself cry at the drop of a hat." Number 4, privacy concerns. After vocalizing concerns over needing privacy as a royal, many people seem to feel as if it was an unreasonable demand for Meghan, especially during all the controversies, all while including an inside look on their life as royals, which is to be featured with never before seen pictures of the family. Afterwards, Meghan tried to reiterate her feeling of needing privacy and how it is a basic human right. I agree, Meghan, it is a basic human right. She stated how she should be able to share parts of her life in her control, not in the media's control. Piers Morgan had more to say about the trailer. Imagine bleeding about privacy, then doing a kiss and tell reality series about your private lives. Then imagine preaching compassion as you trash your family again. Then imagine releasing the first trailer deliberately to ruin your brother's big trip to America. Repulsive hypocrites. This guy's really mad. Number 3, the rug. In a black and white shot, the Duchess of Sussex can be seen sitting cross-legged in an armchair with her phone while holding her head in her hand as she breaks down in tears. But an imposing piece in the background, spoiling the sincerity, is the celebrity staple $2,340 cashmere Hermes throw rug, positioned nonchalantly over the chair behind her. Peter Ford had this to say via Twitter. "Nothing more heartbreaking than seeing Meghan in tears on her $3,000 Hermes blanket. But as good fortune would have it, from a producer's point of view, all being captured for use in the show." The documentary has been a long time coming, considered the jewel in the crown as part of the Sussex's multi-million-dollar Netflix deal they signed 2 years ago, upon cutting ties with the royal family. Number 2, Beyonce. Millions of people watched Oprah with Meghan and Harry, the television special in which Oprah Winfrey interviewed the royal couple. Among those millions, Beyonce. In episode 6, Markle is seen receiving a text from the singer after the special screened on CBS in March 2021. "I still can't believe she knows who I am," Markle tells Harry, going on to summarize Beyonce's message. "She wants me to feel safe and protected," says Markle. "She admires and respects my bravery and vulnerability, and she thinks that I was selected to break generational curses that need to be healed. It's straight up crazy that Meghan is even in Queen Bee's attention at all. That's a queen I can get behind. I just hope this isn't like the time she said someone from the Lion King premiere related her to Nelson Mandela. Let's hope this time she's telling the truth." Number 1, gossip. The Duchess of Sussex detailed the moment she realized people actually believed some of the lies pushed out by tabloid media. A member of the public told her that what she was doing to her father was not right. The royal explained this moment rocked her to her core because it meant that people actually believed what they were reading. Well, sorry to say this, Meghan, but duh, of course they do. Why does she think they had so much attention in the media and online? Of course people believed that stuff, or the tabloids would have moved on from her as the topic. It's the fact people read and watch the stuff about Meghan Markle that is making her life harder. She must be crazy for believing at some point that people don't believe in those kinds of media. So silly.
Privacy. After vocalizing concerns over needing privacy as a royal, many people seem to feel as if it was unreasonable demand for Meghan, especially during all the controversies, all which included an inside look on their real life as royals, which is to be featured with never before seen pictures of the family. Afterwards, Meghan tried to reiterate her feeling of needing privacy and how it's a basic human right. I agree, Meghan, it is a basic human right. She stated how she should be able to share parts of her life in her control, not the media's control. Piers Morgan had more to say about the trailer of her docuseries. Imagine bleeding about privacy, then doing a kiss and tell reality series about your private lives. Then imagine preaching compassion as you trash your family again. Then imagine releasing the first trailer deliberately to ruin your brother's big trip to America. Repulsive hypocrites. That's what Piers Morgan had to say about Meghan's trailer of the docu-series. Let me know what you guys think, if you agree with him or don't. Personally, I think Meghan and Harry are great people and they're doing good things. Maybe the docu-series was a little touch and tell, but I enjoyed watching it. Staff backlash. A source told the British paper that palace insiders were seething with rage at allegations made in the forthcoming docu-series. The trailer was also slammed by online trolls who called the series hypocritical. In a conversation with the Sky News Australia, Paul Murray, Meghan Kelly mentioned her perspective on the bullying allegations and how they were coming out from the abandonment of her friends and family. Her wedding peppered by only celebrities and no one who actually knew or loved her.
Thanks for watching.
Today we're counting down the top 10 reasons Harry and Meghan will go broke. As we all know, Meghan and Harry stepped down from their royal titles in 2020, which means they don't get funds from the royals anymore. So how long do we think the couple is going to last without the royal money? Counting down from number 10, we really won't be seeing Prince Harry become king now. Even though the chances of that were already slim, after stepping down, I am here to let you all know that it is a definite confirmation that Harry and Meghan have zero chance of gaining the royal titles as King and Queen of England. Leaving the royal family was a very big moment and caused a lot of backlash because, well, it's a very, very rare news headline to have to discuss. Voluntarily leaving the royal family just feels very controversial, and as we all know, was. The surprising news was followed by a statement addressing why they will no longer be using their titles and walking away. To summarize it, they wanted to transition into a progressive role and work to become financially independent while continuing to support the Queen from a distance. After their bold and controversial statement, they received a substantial sum from King Charles to help make their transition easier, but the funding stopped in the summer of 2020. Now that they've been cut off from any financial support from the royals, the question is, how do they plan on working their way to achieve the lavish lifestyle, financially independent from the throne? Coming into number 9, the contracts that are paying their royal bills. The Sussexes own a media company, Archwell Productions, which is set to make a range of programs for Netflix. Worth to be millions of dollars, this seems like it can be a promising stream of income from the couple, right? But speaking of Netflix, I don't know how many of you have actually sat down to watch their docuseries Harry and Meghan, but I will say that it's definitely been getting all kinds of reactions. When this series released its trailer, the backlash they were receiving was getting crazy. A lot of people were not impressed by the approach they had taken to share their story. If you want to catch some serious tea about the trailer and series, go watch our other video, Top 10 Lies Meghan Markle Told, on her Netflix docuseries. Back to the backlash. Since the monarchy is still relatively popular in America, a lot of viewers did not receive the series well. And now many believe that the couple is on their way to becoming disliked by the general public in America, in addition to being disliked in England. It seems like they can't catch any breaks in either continent, but at the same time, it really feels like they did this to themselves. What do you think? Comment down below if you think the hate is deserved or if you think people are doing too much. After the couple signed a $100 million deal with Netflix, the tea is that their docuseries was not well received from a majority of the audience. Will this make an impact on the types of business companies will pursue with them? Number 8 on our top 10, the couple is being advised to maintain their distance from the coronation for Harry's father, King Charles III. Yikes. They really said if you aren't part of the family, you aren't part of the milestones, period. Now, I may not be British, but I can definitely say that seems like a huge moment for his father, and the fact that Harry and his family might not be invited is insane to think about. This drama is running deep because they were advised not to come since it would be humiliating for the family. The obvious reason for this is the English public and their anger towards the couple after they had moved to Montecito to pursue a new life away from the royal responsibilities. Coronations are important milestones, and we already know the royal family tries their absolute hardest to try to avoid any possible controversies. After the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, the couple has been getting a lot of news coverage. After a poll was taken, half of the British folk want the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to be stripped of their titles, and 40% also believe Harry should be removed from the official line of succession over his actions in the media. Many public figures and royal experts are hoping the couple decides to skip coming to the coronation because they don't want camera time to be wasted on the couple rather than the king and queen, which I highly doubt would be much of a problem. As tricky as this sounds, do you think the couple will take their chances and show up for their father's big day? And number 7, with many brand deals and contracts, who knows how many are willing to support the couple without receiving backlash from those who have strong feelings against the Duke and Duchess. We know that for the most part, a lot of decisions are based on public opinion in order for businesses to get the most support. So if the couple starts receiving a lot more hate, at what rate do we think they'll start losing deals? Or will companies feed off the controversies because it brings them more attention? What do you think will happen? Let me know in the comments. 6th on today's top 10 is Meghan's infamous choice to retire from her acting career. She really was booked and busy before she stepped down from this part of her life too. As a former actress to someone who is more interested in working behind the scenes, Meghan hosts a podcast called Archetypes where she interviews famous women and has had guests such as Mariah Carey, Serena Williams, and Paris Hilton. Meg's net worth prior to leaving acting was around $5 million, where she earned $50,000 for each episode of Suits, where she played Rachel Zane, and a combined $360,000 from her roles in the movies she'd done back in 2010. She also ran a successful lifestyle blog, The Tig, which she shut down after getting engaged. The blog made her an estimated $80,000 a year from sponsorships and endorsement deals. Back when there was the royal drama after the couple made the decision to leave, Meghan signed a voiceover deal with Disney, and a contribution of her salary would be given to wildlife charity Elephants Without Borders. Number 5 on the countdown, Harry still relies on the inheritance of his mother, the late Princess Diana. During their interview with Oprah, Harry had admitted that without his mother's estate, which got him a great amount of $12 million, it would not have been possible for them to make the moves that they have been making since the beginning of January 2020. Harry said that he felt Princess Diana's presence throughout the whole process and that it seemed like something she would see coming. Every day, I wonder why I haven't been born a royal. Imagine you're asking your parents for lunch money and they're like, here, have $40,000 and a crumpet. Must be nice, honestly, but then again, the royal life is not for everyone, even those part of the family. Prince Harry blindsided so many people, including those who follow the monarchy closely, when they announced that they were stepping down from their titles. Coming down to number 4, Trademark Drama. After Harry and Meg filed paperwork to trademark their personal foundation, Sussex Royal, the foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the palace announced that they would not be allowed to use the term Sussex Royal after their decision to step back. After the trademark applications were removed, they did release a statement saying that they do not intend to use the term royal after their transition in the spring of 2020. Just like most of the royal drama we've been discussing, this one is really juicy because the late queen was pretty disappointed that the couple was bringing all this unnecessary and unwanted attention to the family. Well, to say the least, the queen was not pleased with them. If you piss off the queen, you should definitely be careful of what your next moves are going to be. Let's talk about these first world problems for a quick second though. As difficult as it was for the couple to make a decision to leave from their former life, it makes me question their privilege because as hard as it must be to be a royal, having the opportunity to live that lifestyle makes so many factors of your life so much easier. For one, it is very unlikely to ever deal with any financial struggles, which is one of the leading factors of stress in our society. Another thing is the problems they complain about are they're fed up with paparazzi following them around, or they don't like the way the media portrays them in news stories, which for the most part are strangers just doing their job. It feels crazy, right? I'm not the only one who thinks these first world problems just feel so mediocre and in a sense ignorant. And in no way am I trying to invalidate the feelings of the royals for going through the problems that they go through, but it just feels like it was never that serious for them to do some of the things they go and do out of their way to try to prove a point. They really shouldn't feel the need to. Moving on to number 3, risking becoming the most hated couple can cost you a lot. The couple has been making some headlines for some insane reasons, with the main and long-running story about them turning on the royals. You'd think with the amount of backlash they get for wanting to live a life different from what they were meant to would get them to lay low, but in case you guessed it, they really have not been doing that. And maybe in a sense they're just continuing to live their lives, but making money over a multiple part series just to explain a side of the story they may not necessarily have. But making money over a multiple part series just to explain a side of the story that may not necessarily have much truth to it seems very problematic. Number 2 on our countdown, Harry lost his military titles. This must have been tough for him since his life had been very intertwined with his military service. He'd done 2 hours in Afghanistan as a forward air controller and a helicopter pilot. He will not be serving as a Captain General of the Royal Marines either, which was a royal passed on to him from his grandfather Prince Philip. Another title he will be no longer serving as is Commodore-in-Chief for small ships and diving in the Royal Navy. Meghan also had to surrender her patronage of the National Theatre, but will keep her small private patronages which offer coaching to unemployed women. Harry will also be able to keep a number of private patronages, including for a sporting competition for wounded service personnel that he'd founded. Last but not least, number 1 on our list, let's quickly summarize everything this couple has lost along with their royal titles. Well, we already know they have not been receiving any royal funds, but wait, there's more. As working royals, they received 95% of their annual income from Harry's father, so that's gone. They also were not able to keep their security arrangements. Bye-bye bodyguards. But when Harry first left the UK, he said it would be too dangerous for him to bring his family back without police protection, so he was granted permission to challenge the decision at High Court. They were unable to keep the Frogmore cottage, which was given to them by the late Queen when they got married. They offered to repay this amount after they had stepped down. Not to mention, they lost respect from a lot of people who looked up to them during their time as royals. Their reputation has become very questionable after the allegations that have come out about them lying in the Oprah interview and their docuseries. At this point, even I'm losing my mind thinking about all the L's this couple has consistently been taking. I know The Crown exists, but sometimes I feel like this family drama is so all over the place that we need multiple shows just to understand what exactly is going down. Sometimes it's hard to keep up. That's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe.